Let's be totally honest. You read the title of the video, you saw the thumbnail, and you decided to click on it. I'm not going to say what I'm doing, so yeah. The game starts off as us being Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. You probably know how the story works, so I'm still going to commentary it, because why not? And the tutorial, obviously it's a tutorial, so I can't really talk much about it, and it's like I have to do what the tutorial says for basically all of Act 1, so that's just going to be a thing for the entire thing. For the rest of it, I'm going to be running. This running simulator is going to be sped up because I don't want this to be that long, but I will be talking about the rules for right now. The first rule is that I can't use webs, that's obvious. Movements that have webs are web strike, yank enemy, disarm enemy, web spin cycle, yank launch. Now that may sound like a lot, because it is a lot, because it fucking is. But a lot of that comes from the skill tree. But however, the only skill tree tab that I'm gonna need is the one on the right, which I completely forgot the name of. So that's gonna be the only one that I really need. Next up, quick time events don't count, obviously. However, I do have a little bit of a bypass for that, which still makes this one a little bit invalid. And that's mostly it for now. I'll explain a lot more things in the future, but for right now, there will be a death counter, and there will be also a first webs. First webs is like moments where you have to use webs and you can't progress through the story without them. So that would be a thing. And also, no fast travel. That's a big rule. No fast travel. I cannot fast travel except for the part where you have to when you go to Pete's apartment and he gets evicted. Anyways, with the rules set, let's start up with the run, and I'm gonna speed this up because at this moment it's not sped up. Now, this video gets like 10 likes, 100 views, then I'll do a part 2 where I'll do either all the DLCs or the 100% the game. Now we have to use our first web strike, so that's very nice. Yay. That's gonna go into first webs, and here comes some more first webs. So isn't that just amazing? Isn't that so much fun? I know, right? As I'm gonna get more talkative in the next recording, aka around the end of Act 1. So, yeah. Now, after we beat up the goons, we call Yuri, and there's a big explosion at Fisk Tower, so then we head over there very fast. Very fast. Very fast. And everybody's already dead. So does it really matter? We were going there very fast. I don't know how everybody would be dead. Now, because Fisk Tower is incredibly boring, and same with everything else up until, like I said, the end of Act 1-ish, most of it's going to be skipped, including basically all Fisk Tower, so yeah. Now, once we enter this big room, we have to web zip. However, because there's walls and they're flat, I can just kind of wall run, which isn't very human-like, I'll be totally honest, but like, it's better than using imaginary webs. Like, what's the webs anyway? Now then, here's what I talk about finishers. Finishers, I don't really know how to feel about it, because they can use webs sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you can. So I'm just gonna say I don't count them, because they use webs too often. And now our greatest opponent is this goddamn vent, which is quite literally impossible to get to for some reason. I have no idea why it's impossible to. Maybe to teach web zip. I tried it, and like, you can't even like web zip onto the roof, so that's another first web. I had it to the counter already, I guess. I don't really know. Oh yeah, also fun fact, the guys underneath that vent aren't real. They aren't real. They aren't. They're not real. They don't fucking exist. And now we have our second greatest opponent, these guys. And I would say, because this is like our first big fight sequence, sometimes like I do accidentally press buttons. Like, for example, when I want to do an uppercut, sometimes I do a sneak attack, ground sneak attack, when I'm trying to uppercut, and that's the same with everything. So there will be a bunch of mispressed buttons. They will be on screen right now. So yeah. Also, I did not win this. That's just gonna be another death counter, me personally. And I lost it from the time, not me actually dying, so not that bad. Oh, tutorial is so fucking awesome. How you have to use the yank down attack. Isn't that just so amazing? Add it to the counter. I'm just gonna stop saying that and just make it a voiceover. And another first web zip. Isn't that so amazing? Also, that one does not count because I was repositioning. So, nuh-uh. That's just another one. Nuh-uh. I'd rather have these guys burn and die rather than use these webs. But I'm just gonna. But for the floor factor of this part, I'm just gonna act like I pushed it. But anyways, that's another first web. Duh. No, I've never really cared about these guys, but honestly, just no. And then we have Risk Filson. Or Kingpin. Yeah, these things are like unbreakable without the webs. So technically speaking, that's 2 to the counter. I don't like it either. Now, as Kingpin throws this giant thing at us, we just have to kind of take it. Yeah, I can't move out of the way fast enough, so that's very nice. Anyways, I'm just gonna let this fight play out, because just from that, I bet you can guess how this went down.
So, how much health do we have all of a sudden?
You're out of your depth, boy!
Not this time. Ooh. Hey. Dude! Why do you dive at me? What is Kingpin?
Free to fight, so fight! I don't want excuses!
Good.
What do I pay you for? Knock him out! No! I can handle myself!
Okay.
Imbecile! Where are the reinforcements?
Well, I didn't press anything.
You'll die as uselessly as you live!
Best shot!
There we go.
Now then, I do use webs in these. However, I did do one tiny little thing before I started the game. I turned on autocomplete on the QuickTime events. Which, technically speaking, I'm not doing them, which means I'm not losing the challenge. So, it's fair game. Fair game. You can't tell me otherwise. Fuck you. After Fisk is taken down, we get a skill point, which lets you level them up. And obviously, like I said in the intro, or the... I don't really know. However, Web Slinger is the only one we could technically use. The reason is Innovator fucking useless because they're all web related. Defender is useless because I can't dodge correctly, otherwise I use a web. And Web Slinger is really helpful for Traversal. Even though I'm still going really slow, it's still going to be the best one out there. Wow, there's just like that one game, that one big game on Steam that's being called Friendstop. But you know, the thing with Friendstop games is that like there's no other thing to call them. Like I feel like just Friendstop is the only genre I can technically call them from bozos and Discord mods that don't have friends. So like yeah, anyways, this is just like the hit game Big Rock. Very fun. Now, I turned on autocomplete on these because they're not really relevant to the challenge. However, like, I'm not going to include coming over to these feast because that's just really annoying and it's probably just going to get skipped anyways. Because, like, who really cares about those missions? They're just kind of there. Oh, looky here, it's another first rep. So cool. It's not like there's another one. Oh my jolly gee, there's another one! Anyways, I die here.
Where did I go?
Don't get me started on the fact how these big guys are incredibly impossible to kill without rebs at the moment in this story. So I just have to use them. Like, you just can't. I just can't. It's just quite... Anyways, 14 minutes of gameplay is completely useless and unfactual. Anyways, here's the Fisk Tower. And we get a first reb, so that's really nice. Anyways, here's all the times I've died. I low-key thought I died more than once, but anyways, you're in the demon's base because nothing else relevant happens. By the way, all these times, I'm actually doing the challenge. I'm not being cringe. Besides, a lot of the times that I do actually use webs for singing, it's because of the shitty-ass PS4 having only an hour of recording. Also, the fact that, Act 2 and 3 and the end of Act 1 all took until 4 AM and I started at 10. So, yeah. Well, wouldn't you look at this? Another first web. Isn't that just amazing? Now, this part is a little bit complicated. I decided to do my good old speedrunning strategy. Well, it's web zipping. How is that possible? Well, because if you get spotted, you lose from that guy. And the sneak attack from behind always has a web at the end. You have to kind of use a web in total, so that's going to go to first web. Same with here, so add another one. Fuck yeah, MJ mission. I love those. Said no one fucking ever. Like, dude, who the fuck plays this? Also, by the way, at this first part, you can reload from last checkpoint to make this person move faster. Yeah. And this entire thing is gonna be skipped over. I don't really care about. Same with the rest of the mission. Well, besides this small little part, which, fun fact, you can get spotted, like, by everybody, but as long as no gunshots happen, you're fine. That's, like, really good. So, like... And these guys are very weak for some reason, and that guy's very dumb too. Because if he shot me, the entire mission would be over. But it didn't. Which I find very funny, and is also very good for speedrunning the game. And this guy's kind of coming up, so like, yeah. And that kind of makes the mission a little bit easier, because then there isn't like 20 people in that main room behind me. And you can kind of see that in this fight. I'm trying not to have any gunshots happen. Usually why I'm trying to go for the ones that are up instead of down. Besides, that guy behind me could have caused really bad things to happen, but like it didn't, so that's really nice. Anyways, MJ cries out for help, like always, because she's like really bad at doing things on her own, and she says stuff like, I'm not made out of glass. Nuh-uh. Black Hat was better, obviously. So yeah. Nah, I'm kidding. She lives, unfortunately. There's a bunch of demon things, and we spear some weird white thing that I don't really know much about. It's just gonna be skipped over because there's just combat, nothing too special. So, like, yeah, onto Shocker. Yeah, no, Shocker was a pain in my ass. And you know what? I'll just, instead of showing you my gameplay, I'll just show you all the times where I lost him. So, yeah, let's just start a play. And it was at this point where I kind of just gave up and said, you know what, this is quite literally impossible to do without webs, especially how it doesn't really matter anyways. So technically speaking, that just added to the Crucible, because you cannot chase this guy down without using webs. I feel like it's impossible. And it's here where we get the research stations, which are pretty helpful for getting a certain gadget. I'll say it later when it comes up, but you know, these are just gonna be open, not actually done, because when you open one, you're just gonna get one research point, so that's very helpful. Then we have our second shocker fight, which, can you guess it requires webs again. So this entire fight is gonna be skipped over besides the times that I die, which I'm pretty sure is a few. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that.
If you ask nicely, maybe.
I fucking dodged.
Don't kill me!
Dude.
For our first fight, me,
I'm
young
not
and
fucking
stupid,
paying attention.
you just fought.
Don't care!
Motherfucker.
Alright, and then I die from some demons about right after. Yeah, I'm really bad at this game right now. I'm really rushed. Then we have this mission, which, now that I think about it, running straight to them was kind of the only option I had, now that I think about it. But, yeah, I'm just gonna let this play out.
Ooh.
That was kind of a snooze fest. Anyways, we have first web with the electric web. The electric web is a web. So, yeah. And yes, I will be counting every single electrical box. This is gonna take a little while. Anyways, add 2 because of this one in the elevator. Another 2. This mission has almost no webs used. That's really amazing. And then we have this car chase, which can be done without webs, besides the part of getting onto it. That can't be done. So, yeah. So after the chase, we get evicted from our apartment, and yeah, there's a first web because you quite literally cannot get up there. I tried everything. I tried. If there's a way to get up there without using webs, I would love to know, because you can't even crawl on that. You can't. I tried it. You can't. And then here, I'm not gonna count it as a first web because like it's a bomb, not a web. It's metallic, not fluid. But I'm still not gonna use it in reality. I'm just gonna have one gadget, which is the spider drone, which is the best one in the game, especially for the challenge, because it doesn't use webs. And I die once again trying to take on a Fisk tower for the spider bow suit power. So yeah, that's fun. Anyways, after that we go into fees because we got evicted and we get $300 from Aunt May. I really thought this was gonna be a first web, but instead it's just a very funny cutscene, so that's cool. Anyways, this entire helicopter chase is I don't know how to tell you, but like, there is no way you can keep up with that with jumping, or with the save jump thing. I don't really know what it's called, but there is no way you can tell me that that's possible. So that's just gonna be another first web. You know, I didn't expect this to be a first web, but there's just an invisible wall for you to get on there. So they just kind of watch you. They don't really do anything. So that's very funny. Anyways, you can get the first ninja down without using a web, but the second one you can't. I tried everything. You cannot. I just don't know why, but when you dodge from underneath the thing, like it only lets you go left. I don't know why. So that's another first web. Anyways, there's an explosion at City Hall after all. The helicopter thing. And players Miles before he gets his powers. Fucking lame. And yeah, Jeff dies. So rest in peace. Alright, and then I died. So that's very nice. Anyways, we find out that Mountain Lee is the person that's running the demons, and so we decide to go to the shipping thing that he owns. So yeah, and this is technically a stealth mission, but it isn't at the same time. You don't have to do stealth, so I just kind of go in there. However, like I said around the beginning, like that I tried to uppercut, not do a sneak attack, so like, nuh-uh. Once again, first web. Yay, another one. Isn't this game and having first webs being so fun? I know, but you'll never guess it. Anyways, that place had a whole bunch of bombs, but it didn't have Mountain Lee, which is the main thing that we're looking for. So we went to a different one that Mountain Lee owns, aka Shipping Express. Anyways, after searching that place, we didn't find anything, and so we got ambushed by demon guys with webs. So like, that's weird, dude. Why do you have whips? What? Who uses whips as a weapon anyways? Like, who? And after we beat those guys up, we were met by some guys called Sable Agents, which is like a vigilante group, I guess. Private military. So, that's very nice. Owned by Silver Sable. Nobody likes them. Anyways, this is the first web. So, like, yeah. We go into Lee's office and we find the Devil's Breath photo that was in that auction house, and so we take it because like that's evidence, because especially how it's in Lee's office. However, there's a trap of electricity, and yeah, no, this is a first web like it already was, because like you cannot get that other one. I tried so many times, you cannot. Right, also the amount of times that I died will be on screen right now, so take that as you will.
How did I do that? Oh my god.
Anyways, once we get out of there and disable the trap, we go to open this door, and we see Martin Lee. He yaps to us, blah blah blah, and then we go outside, and then a bunch of homeless people will beat us up. Yeah, such bitches, dude. Fuck y'all. Anyways, MJ snuck into a gang, I guess, that's building a big machine for the demons. Apparently, how do I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it's an MJ mission, so fuck you. Anyways, during our date with MJ at her apartment, not really a date, but anyways, during our date, we get a police warning that apartment that's holding a guy called like Standish being attacked by the demons. And all we know is that he knows something about Devil's Breath, and that's basically it. So then we just have to save him, and yeah, that's just about it. And this entire mission doesn't require webs, that's really nice. However, the demons transferred the information of Devil's Breath onto a secure server, so that's really amazing. He's not useful anymore, but they're still gonna kill him. Just cause, I guess. So then we have to go down the elevator, but there was no elevator because he kinda did something. But yeah, we just kinda save him, but luckily it's a quick time event and I'm not the one controlling this, so. Anyways, we go to a Halloween party where one of the 3 people on the bottom left is Dr. Delaney, and he also knows about Devil's Breath, and the demons are actively trying to get to him, so we have to find him. This Mysterio is a little bit of a bitch, so yeah, not Standish, not Delaney though. Anyways, we find out Delaney's on the dance floor, and this little bitch comes up to us being Anyways, Standish gets taken by the demons, so that's really nice. After we non-suspiciously follow Delaney, he uses his kind of mind control abilities to have Delaney fucking shoot himself, so that's not very cool. Also, pretty unnecessary. Once we beat up the demons, we follow Lee outside to him corrupting the college students, and then they just start beating everybody up. I'll be totally honest, this big guy is quite literally impossible to kill without webs. He just blocks everything. Like, you just kind of have to. You just have to use webs while fighting this guy. Yeah, there's really no winning against this dude. I hate him. I just want to punch him so hard that he dies. I don't know, just a me thing. Anyways, Lee gets away, and we decide to learn more about Devil's Breath. So we go into Oscorp's HQ type building to try to get onto Osborn's office computer to learn more about it. Pretty stupid, I would say, but like, I'm like, whatever it does, I guess. So once we get onto Osborn's computer in his office, we learn more about Devil's Breath, or in other words, GR27. We learn that a guy called Dr. Morgan Michaels has the only sample on him, and it was originally made to cure diseases like autism, all that, things similar like that. But it actually destroys the DNA instead of, you know, getting rid of it. So it turns into a death-killing virus. MJ sneaks into a fucking government military for some information, which is really stupid. Anyways, it's an MJ mission. Luckily, it's the second to last one, but it's not the last stealth mission. So, like, I still want to shove myself into a Sable base. Anyways, we find Miles being beat up by a bunch of thugs. Lamo, get fucking good. Anyways, a lot of it to explain in a few seconds. The guy that holds the only sample of Devil's Breath got kidnapped by the demons and Mountain Knee. So now we're chasing a truck that has it. Yeah, and like Sable is very fucking fucked, and like it's a really bad private. Fuck you. And I Loki get cooked and die. Yeah, very nice. Okay, so far in this mission, I've had to use 2 webs. One to get onto that big truck, and one to get onto one of that van. And it's gonna have to be the same with that one, and then the truck again, so that's 4. And then the Loki brings us to the Shadow Realm for some reason, just to give us a new perspective. Yeah, fuck you. Must I say why use webs when I can use my hands? I'm gonna stop now. As we crash, Lee gets away, and then fucking Silver Sable thinks we did something wrong. Under your protection, goddamn. So angsty. Such an angsty gang. So angsty. Oh yeah, and also they don't kidnap him, but they take the Devil's Breath, and we don't know where it is. That's very nice.
Oh my god, an MJ mission! Aren't I so happy? Yippee!
No, I'm not actually, because like you have to use webs as MJ this entire mission. So like it's so awesome. Am I right or am I right? I'm wrong actually. I'm very wrong. I'm very, very, very wrong. Let's learn how to count from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't see it. 7, 8, 9, and you guessed it, 10! Yeah, we learned how to count to 10, class. Now don't forget to do your homework, otherwise I will shove you inside an MJ mission for the rest of your dire life. Fun facts with myself. If gunshots even happen, you'll be fine. They just kind of run off. So, like, it's really cool. And because of like, I didn't sneak attack anybody because that's quite literally impossible. I had possibly the hardest fight of my entire life.
Everyone, follow me!
MJ, did you make it out?
Yeah, everyone's safe.
Good job.
Hey, Peter.
Yeah?
Is that in there? We should talk.
Yeah, we should.
First, find kick his ass.
I feel bad for anyone who's on the wrong side of MJ. I wonder what side I'm on right now. out a few more. Then it'll be safe for you to move.
Hurry.
Okay, guys, trivia time. Did you know Grand Central has the largest basement in New York City? Crazy, right? You fit half the Brooklyn Bridge down there. Ah, I agree. You sure don't make them like they used to. That's old school New York gumption for you. Anyway, I could talk trivia all day, but I gotta stop your wingnut of a boss from destroying the city. Time to wrap this up.
Well, but the hardest part of my entire life done, so I'm just gonna skip to the Lee mission. So, yep, which shall be right about. I can't snap with my left. Hold on, I changed my audio recording, so that's when this should be right. Oh wait, no. Well, this actually didn't really use a web; it just kind of auto-activated. Well, anyways. I did it! Actually, pleasantly surprised by Lee's fights because you don't have to use webs. You just kind of have to walk up to him very, very slowly, and that's basically like how you win. That also goes with the second phase. However, it's way harder because I guess it's the third phase. But it's way harder because he does it way faster and all blah blah blah, all of that. So yeah. Anyways, we found out electricity is his weakness. Now this will come in handy very soon because we never use that fucking advantage we have against Lee ever again. That he's allergic to electricity and his weakness and all. We never use that again. We don't even use electric webs. It doesn't fucking affect him. It just doesn't. I don't know why it doesn't. It just doesn't. It just doesn't matter. Oh yeah, don't even try that, buddy. You're not stopping a train. I mean, I guess he did. Anyways, Lee gets captured by the raft, or I guess by Sable, but he's going to the raft, obviously. And that also includes Devil's Breath, which is probably a bigger threat than Lee, I'll be totally honest. An entire worldwide virus, yeah, because that would ever happen in real life, since when did that happen? Oh please, that would never happen. It kind of did happen though, so. Anyways, MJ is being weird as hell like always. Black Cat is so much better. Yeah, she robs things, but does that really matter? Just do Black Cat, dude. Why fucking MJ and her suicidal self, dude? Anyways, we find out that Sable isn't very good at protecting things, and the demons got the Devil's Breath, which, of fucking course they did. They're fucking useless. Sable, you are useless, and his Rikers is actively fucking exploding. Now, surprisingly, we don't have to use any webs during this entire fight sequence at Rikers, which is very nice. So, yeah, nothing else bad can happen. Oh my fucking god, of course the raft is exploding. I mean, it's a coincidence. What would you think? I also, before this, fucking savior, I guess, Doc Ock kind of went a little bit evil and such, but Peter doesn't know that, so that's really cool. Oh, and Rhino's here too, I guess, so that's very nice. And then you never guess it, we have yet again another first web, all because of an invisible wall. Isn't that so amazingly amazing? That's so amazing. That's just so amazing. Wouldn't that be just so amazing? Oh yeah, also Scorpion attacks us for some reason. I don't really know why. You know, for this Electro chase sequence, I really thought I was gonna have to use webs, but no, actually, I didn't need to use webs to get this guy. I'm actually very surprised by that. Very surprised. Oh yeah, and the old man called Vulture is here. You're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna, we know. Anyways, all of the 5 people that I've recently fought, I guess, that I've encountered come here, which kind of makes it some Super Smash Bros. Type shit. Anyways, Peter could have definitely 5v1 these bozos if Scorpion didn't fucking exist, because of fucking course he did. Anyways, we found out Doc Ock is actually working with them, and they call themselves the Sinister Six. It's like, yeah. Oh yeah, and then he tries to kill us. Or does he? I don't really know if he does. Who knows? Then comes Hell. Electro and Rhino are causing havoc at the police stations at Upper West Side and Upper East Side, so you kind of have to stop them from doing their evil and such, so blah blah blah. And Electro has trapped other police officers inside this building with electricity. Don't ask me how that works, but all these generators cost webs. That's basically all there is. So like, yeah. Am I gonna really die here? Don't tell me I die. Actually, I'm gonna check. I surprisingly did not die, which is actually pretty surprising. Anyways, not to go trying to yeah, nice job swimming, Peter. Yeah, I don't know who you are, Peter Parker. Anyways, now it's time to go to the Upper West Side, which is more of an issue than the East. Does not want to get fucking wombo comboed here. I did not expect myself to get fucking wombo comboed by some random prisoner. Nor is it when there's fucking 15,000 Molotovs being thrown at me. How much fucking flares do you have? Oh my fucking god. How much Molotovs? Not flares, I mean Molotovs. How much Molotovs do you have? Oh my fucking god. Stop with the Molotovs. But the real issue comes from, you'll never guess it, my least favorite government agency in human history. Yeah, it's called Sable. Yeah, these guys are quite literally impossible to beat with webs. Trust me, I've tried. And even while using webs, also I found out that you don't even need the ability to do that. So I can't even dodge their attacks too without having to do that, which makes it quite literally impossible to not use webs. And die a couple of times. Right here, I'm pretty sure I'm going to see Jesus Christ as soon as I die. I don't really know. Don't ask me.
You pulled these out. What the f?
There's the Fee Center at in Harlem. Does that one exist in this game? I think so. Anyways, the Veterans Feast Center in Harlem kind of burns down and such, blah blah blah, all of that. Who really cares? Anyways, here we just try to investigate the area where Devil's Breath originated when Dr. Ock kind of did his kind of thing. So then we pick up the sign and there's Devil's Breath, blah blah blah. I know all the directions because I'm getting to speedrunning, blah blah blah. This entire part's gonna be skipped. And as we get kidnapped by Vulture from an explosion in Times Square where like the thingy thing is. Anyways, this is quite literally an air fight. This fight is only based in the air, so I'm not gonna try to talk about it. It requires webs. Yeah, I could not swing, but like, I'm just not gonna do that. Because otherwise this fight's just gonna be really fucking weird and hard, and otherwise it'd be quite literally impossible. So, yeah. Oh, you really think MJ missions are bad? Yeah, we'll get stuck in this thing for 100 fucking years, dude. This mission sucks. Not to mention, this is quite literally impossible to use without webs, because like, how do I not swing and how do I get out of the perk? You just like, you just can't. I hate this mission, so it's just gonna be skipped over, because like, fuck you. But during the Morrow's mission, I died twice, so that's like really cool, I guess. Yeah, that's very nice. Should I really say anything about this fight? I don't think I really need to in the first place, so like, yeah, you have to use webs. That's very sad. After the fight, we do an MJ mission, so that's very nice. Anyways, we fight some demons because we're trying to find Martin Lee and Osborn. But I get PTSD from that one time in that shipyard. It was like a few minutes ago. By that I mean like 20-ish minutes ago. In that one shipyard when I was climbing up on top of that tower. So like, yeah. But instead I didn't die, so that's really nice. Instead I have to run away. So yeah. Isn't Civil Sable just a nice all-caring, you know, government agency, I guess, where they have jetpacks that's impossible to beat without webs? Isn't that just so amazing? Am I right? Mutiny, shooting such is what I wanna be. Yes, I put an egg in my ramen once. Anyways, you fight Mountain Lee, which surprisingly doesn't require webs. Yes, it was a little bit challenging, but now I'm just gonna cut to every single time I die, which is also way more than I expected, because the fight's actually pretty hard without using webs, I will say that. When this fight isn't really that hard anyways.
I have
You never
swords.
stood in my way.
Dude, the rock got in my way.
His name is John Cena.
Dude, I
Spider-Man.
can't see anything with
I wish things could have
15 damage. It doesn't even do that.
And now we fight Octavius. I'm skipping a lot of these parts just because I feel like it, but this fight is pretty self-explanatory. You kind of have to use webs, like otherwise you can't beat him, so yeah. But besides that, my deaths and first webs will be on the screen right now. And short answer, no, you can't beat Spider-Man without using webs. It's, well, yeah. But like I said, if you want to watch me do 100% the main storyline and the DLCs, or just do the DLCs in general, 10 likes, like 100 views, just like not that big because I'm not that big. Anyways, but like, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.